Good evening and welcome to our Fast Track to Emerald training webinar this evening. I am, first of all, always so grateful that you get on these live with me and set aside time out of your busy evening away from your family and your other responsibilities to learn and grow. And I promise that I won't take that for granted and I won't waste your time. So welcome to our first little team training group webinar. It's just for you guys. No one else gets this content but you. So everything that I have to share with you tonight is for your exact position, the place that you are in. You're a new coach or you are new to working the business. Maybe you tried to work it for a while and had to step away for whatever reasons life threw at you, and now you're back trying to learn again. It's a unique place to be in, where you are an adult and yet you are in a very uncomfortable position of not knowing what to do or how to do it, and sometimes you even forget why. And so it's very common at this point in the 30 days of training for us to start hearing comments like, I haven't been able to get anyone to sign up yet, and I've talked to a lot of people and nobody has said yes, and I'm beginning to wonder if I'm cut out for this, and I just don't know if this is a good fit for me, and there's a sense of panic that starts to rise up in some people. It's extremely common, and the thing I want to congratulate you guys for is that you're talking about it. Several coaches have already dropped out of the group on their own without letting me or their sponsor know because they panicked and they ran. And you may not know that. So if you're still in the group and you're talking about your fears and you're talking about your struggles and you're sharing them and you're being real, high five. It takes courage to admit that you don't know what you're doing and that you're struggling and that you're doubting yourself. So you may not think that that's a good thing. Trust me. It is. It shows that you're getting uncomfortable and you're like, I just don't know. This is hard and I'm doubting myself, but you're still here and you're on this webinar right now, hopefully live. If not, you're listening to this as a recording, and you're digging in anyway. You're moving forward anyway. So I just want to applaud you and recognize you for still being in the group and engaging in this with me tonight. I do want to give a special shout out of recognition to Crystal Torres, our first trainee to hit Emerald. And it's always really exciting and it's a big deal. In my opinion, Emerald is the most important rank in the entire hierarchy of ranks in Beachbody. It's not Diamond. It's not when you add your first star. It's Emerald. Because if you can get that one, you can get the next one. And it sets the pattern of you believing that you can achieve things and build success in this business. So Crystal, congratulations to you and to your sponsor, Brandy, for just doing an amazing job of doing 3 vital behaviors and repeating those each day and getting some traction. And guys, if you're not to Emerald yet, it doesn't mean anything, okay? Because you're doing what you have to do every day to get out there. And we're going to talk tonight about some of the questions that you have. Some people hit Emerald really quickly because they have a very supportive spouse or family member or best friend or neighbor who's really, really in it with them. And it makes it a little easier. If you are in a position where you don't have any spousal support, maybe you don't even have a spouse yet, and people around you are definitely not in it with you at this point, you have a blessed opportunity to change some lives of people who may be resistant to health and fitness. So it may take you a little bit longer to get to Emerald, but it just means that you have more people around you that have the potential to be inspired, inspired by you. So look at that as a positive. You've got a great an audience there that's going to watch you change and build trust in what you're doing from your behaviors. All right, so before I get to the question and answer part of our call, I want to talk to you about where we are in the training. We are 1/3 of the way through. Today's day 10. We've already completed 1/3 of the training. That's a great thing. And the next 2/3 of the training, everything is designed to move you forward, to help you, and to support you. But I don't want you to lose sight of the simplicity of this. It's easy to get bogged down each day in the details of the assignments, and you're trying to learn to balance and juggle your life with all of this as well. And it's normal to have a learning curve there. But what I want you to remember tonight is the KISS acronym. Keep it simple, silly. The 3 vital behaviors are your KISS. They're your way to keep it simple. The 3 vital behaviors are all that it takes for you to build success. And even if you don't see success on your timetable, if you do the 3 vital behaviors every day, you will be successful. It's inevitable because success leaves clues. Look at other successful coaches. Follow them. Ask them what they're doing, and they will tell you, I do the 3 vital behaviors religiously, consistently, even when I don't feel like it. And it's those simple things each day that they really don't take a lot of time that will move you forward. So let's review the 3 vital behaviors. The first one is to be proof that the products work. All that really means is hit blend on your blender and make that Shakeology and hit play on your DVD player or your laptop and do that workout. Just use the products that you originally were interested in to change your own health, and you'll be a walking billboard to the people in your life, even without saying a word. Without even saying a word, you'll be a walking billboard. They'll see your skin and hair increase in health. They will see you slimming up and toning up. They will see you losing weight. They will see you walking with more pep in your step as your energy goes through the roof. They will watch you change. And change is inevitable when you're working out every day to our amazing programs and you're drinking this amazing superfood shake. You will change. I guarantee it. I have. Secondly, do personal development every day. 10 pages or 30 minutes. I have the book that we're reading right here in a prominent place on my desk, and I'm reading with you. I've already read this book 2 or 3 times, and I'm reading it again because it's that valuable. So do your personal development every day. You can't add value to other people if you're not growing in here and in here. And that's what personal development does for you. It gives you something to talk about. Hey, I was reading this book the other day about the decline of corporate America, and I know you work in corporate America, so what are you experiencing on that side of things? It gives you something to talk about. It gives you better questions to ask. So do your personal development. It'll fill you up in your mind and your heart so that you have more to give to others. Finally, the 3rd vital behavior is invite, invite, invite. Simply put, that just means share your journey. It means bringing up tidbits from a book that you're reading in this training program and letting the conversation naturally flow to, why are you reading this book? What is this training that you're doing? Open door to talk about the business opportunity with Beachbody. Start thinking in terms of inviting and sharing. And you'll start to wear that as a lens through which you talk to people and encounter people, because what we have is amazing. You should not feel bad or embarrassed about saying, I'm a Beachbody coach and there's an opportunity with this to change your life, to get in amazing shape, and to be surrounded by positive, upbeat people that will help you along your journey. That's a blessing. You should be shouting it from the rooftops. But I remember being where you are, and I remember the blanket of insecurity that was over me, and I was a nervous wreck to even say the word Beachbody. I felt corny. I was like, that's such a dumb name. But it is what it is, and you should feel proud to share what we have and what we're doing with the people in your life. So keep it simple, silly. Do your shake, do your workout, do your personal development, and invite like crazy. Share your journey, okay? So we're going to talk about in the rest of the training how to put those into action. And I want you to think about it like an umbrella. So if you've got, okay, here's my effort to make an umbrella with my hands. Here's your umbrella. And the umbrella is the 3 vital behaviors. On the top of the umbrella, you've got be proof that the products work, personal development, and invite, right? Okay, so everything that we do in this training falls underneath that umbrella, but it always goes back to those 3 vital behaviors. And what we're giving you in this training and in this call tonight and in everything that we do to try to help you are different tools, different techniques, different strategies, different ways that you can talk to people, different ways that you can get past objections that you might encounter as you're inviting. We will, also hold you accountable to your own workout and your own shake. And those are ways to support you and help you along your own journey. We're reading this book together, and next we'll be reading The Compound Effect. So we're supporting you in your personal development. This very training itself is personal development. Are you not growing? Are you not learning? Are you not pushed outside of your comfort zone a little bit and kind of wobbling and like, oh, no, this is different, this is weird. But there's a certain amount of excitement and adventure that comes with this. So I want you to just think about it. Instead of getting overwhelmed and bogged down in the daily assignments and questioning whether or not you're cut out for this, I want you to think about that umbrella and realize everything we're doing, everything we're teaching you falls underneath the structure of those 3 vital behaviors. So always bring it back to that. If you can keep it simple in your mind, keep it black and white, you will be able to stand with more balance and more strength and more confidence. All right, so I'm going to get to your questions now that you brought up on our training group page, and I'm using my phone to look at Facebook since I obviously have my computer tied up with the webcam. Okay, and I am just going to go through and I will call out the coach by name who asked the question. All right, let's see. Okay, I'm going to start with Kayla. All right, so Kayla's actually already Emerald, and she is doing this training to solidify her business and to move forward. Kayla has an awesome sponsor coach, Jennifer Allen, who is taking very good care of her team and leading them so well. So Kayla, you're so blessed to have Jennifer leading you. And Jennifer says, I haven't had luck sending anyone samples, so I have 3 appointments while I'm visiting family in Tennessee for shake tastings. The one I did yesterday went so well, and I believe she's going to sign as a coach. She's rocking the 21-day fix too. So I wanted to highlight this, even though Kayla didn't ask a question. I wanted to highlight this because notice what Kayla did. She hasn't had any luck, for whatever reason, sending anyone samples. So perhaps she has sent out a few samples and people botched their mixing and they're like, this stuff is nasty, I don't want to drink this. Who the heck are you? It's either that or maybe she hasn't had any sample packets. I don't know what the situation is. But she didn't stop there. So she hit a little bit of a wall, some sort of obstacle there. She didn't stop there. She found another way. She figured out that if she does a shake tasting live with people, so she makes the shake for them and then they get to taste it, that she's having better success that way. So I wanted to highlight that to give you guys an example of what to do if you do hit a struggle spot and someone does tell you no. Maybe you sent out some samples and people said, I don't know why you drink that every day. That stuff is gross. Don't give up there. Keep going. Okay, let's see what else. Okay, let's look at Amber Smith's comment. Again, she didn't ask a question, but I want you to listen to what she says. And you guys can read along with this on Facebook if you're on there. And she says she's feeling so motivated today. She's been on the phone all morning inviting people. Listen to who she talked to. Her brother, he's pumped up. He's going to sign as a coach. His girlfriend might as well. And she's loving her Shakeology and things are going well. So she's talking to people on the phone. If you're only using social media and you're sharing your journey once a day here and there with, I just made my shake and it's really good, or I got my workout in today and my pants are feeling loose, that's great, but you can't leave it at that. You can't, that's like It's like going fishing and letting your lure hover just above the water and hoping the fish will kind of jump up and grab it. You're actually going to have to put that lure and that hook down into the water, right? And you do that by talking to people on the phone. You can do it in private messaging if that feels a little safer for you right now, but honestly, getting on the phone or face-to-face is always more effective because people can see your facial expressions and hear your voice and really sense that you want them to feel as good as you feel drinking that shake, and you want them to understand that at-home workouts are so much more doable for busy families than trying to make a class or get to the gym. They'll feel that sincerity from you face-to-face or on the phone that they won't quite get on social media. So kudos to Amber for getting on the phone. Crystal Torres, already Emerald, but she talked to 2 new people about Shakeology and Beachbody. And she didn't stop at Emerald, right? She's continuing to build and move forward, so that's awesome. I want to get to your questions. And a lot of you had some really, really fantastic issues that you brought up, some struggles and some questions. So I want to go through those and answer those for you. Okay, Marley. This is from Marley. Marley is the busy mommy. She's got a new baby, and she's a nurse, and their house actually burned down a few months ago, and they had just complete disaster and chaos with losing everything. And so, you know, Marley and I have been talking to each other for a long time, and Marley, I'm so proud of you for picking up the pieces and trying, and I know things are crazy for you. So I love that you're sharing your struggles and giving me an opportunity to help you through that. Okay, she says, I'm sharing and inviting and doing everything I'm supposed to, and no one is interested in investing or paying so much money a month. I'm really discouraged because I'm seeing so many people hitting Emerald in just days, and I can't get even one person. Grrr, she says. I love that. Okay, so this is really common. Really, really common. You feel like you're sharing and inviting and doing everything you're supposed to do. And I am so guilty of this myself. And I'm not saying this is what you're doing, Marley, but I know myself. I'll think that I'm inviting 2 to 5 people a day to my challenge groups. I will think that I'm sharing my journey on Facebook. I will think that I'm inviting 2 to 5 people a week to look at this business. I will think that my social media is spot on. But when I track it, I always find out that I'm not actually doing what I thought I was doing. So I'm going to show you something. Let me grab this notebook. Okay, this is my notebook I keep on my desk, and in here I have my business activity tracker, and you can see it's pretty marked up. This is what I use, and I resisted this for a very, very long time. I hate charts and checklists. I'm a heart person, and I just want to hug people and love on people, and I think from here, and so I resist things that make me use my brain. I hate them. I'm creative and kind of impulsive, and I go about things on a whim. So I hate the business activity tracker. However, when I use it, I always find out why I'm stuck in my business. I always see that even though I think I'm doing everything, there's some places where I have some holes in the boat, and the water's linking in, and I'm sinking because of those holes. So I would recommend that you guys get really serious about the plan to start using the business activity tracker tomorrow, and realize that it will show you where you're coming up short, and it will definitely highlight for you exactly where you need to work. The other thing I want to talk about in the question Marley asked is the price objection. This is really hard for new coaches to work through sometimes, but I'll tell you what will always work. Listen to people's problems. Really, you know, and this is where the focus on helping people comes in. Listen to their problems. Ask them a lot of questions about, you know, I saw that you liked my post on my Shakeology that I've been drinking. Ask them a question. Say, do you have some health goals that you know you're wanting to work on? and start a conversation. When they say, yeah, I need to lose 10 pounds, don't immediately jump to, well, you can get Shakeology for $97 as a coach or $130, blah, blah, blah. Don't jump into that. Wait, bite your tongue and wait. Get into a conversation about why they want to lose those 20 pounds. What did those 20 pounds represent to them? Is there a doctor that has recommended that particular number to lose? And if so, why? Is there a blood sugar issue? Is there a blood pressure issue? Dig in and listen to people. Ask as many questions as you have to ask to get down to the root cause of why they're asking for your help, why they clicked like, why they commented, why they got in your free clean eating challenge. I've heard a lot of you talking about, these people signed up for my free clean eating challenge and then none of them want Shakeology. I'll be frank with you, that is your fault. If they don't want Shakeology, it's because you have not adequately described how it solves their problem or meets their need. Now, while I tell you that that's your fault, I'm also going to tell you that you just haven't learned it yet, so it's okay. But as a coach, if you've got 11 people in your clean eating challenge and not one of them buys Shakeology, it just means that you haven't done a good job of painting the picture of what it is and how it solves their problem or gets them to their goal. So let's go back to the example of the person who needs to lose 20 pounds. If you leave it at that, it's a surface goal. And if you jump to, well, you should get on Shakeology, I've been drinking it and I've already lost 12 pounds and blah, 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 you're making it about you. And yes, you're sharing your story, but it feels like you're trying to sell them something because you don't really know them. And you don't know what those 20 pounds are. And they'll start to go, and then you won't hear from them again. They won't answer your messages. They're gone. If you ask questions like, is there an event coming up that you have in mind that you need to drop that weight for, or has a doctor recommended that, or is there a certain size you're trying to get back to? What do those 20 pounds represent for you, and why is that your goal? They'll start to talk to you and open up, especially women. You might hear something like, my sister's getting married in December and I'm her maid of honor and I just don't want to stand up in front of that church with all my friends and family and have them see how much weight I've put on. I want to stand there and feel beautiful and have her be proud of me, and I want that to be a night that I can enjoy with my sister. You'll start to hear stories like that. With people, it's never about the number of pounds they have to lose. It's about how they feel. Think about yourself. Is it really about wearing a size 4? Or, men getting down to that perfect size 32 waist in your pants? Is it really about that? No, it's not. It's about how you feel at the end of the day when you lay in your bed at night and you think about your life. That's what it's about. It's about how you feel inside. It's about how you don't like being in your own skin, or you're ashamed, or you do have a health crisis, or you have a serious number of pounds to lose. Maybe you need to lose over 100 pounds. There's always an emotion. There's always meaning attached, and it's our job as coaches to get to that why. That's why we're called a coach and not a distributor. That's why we're called a coach and not a salesperson or a rep. We don't just represent products. We help people. We help people relentlessly. So if people are telling you, I can't pay that much money a month, I can't invest in this, it is because they don't understand the value. Because let's face it, we can all afford what we want to afford. You'll have people that eat out 2 or 3 days a week that tell you, I can't afford Shakeology. Nope, can't do it. But they eat out almost every night. Or they eat out for lunch every day at work. They get takeout. Or they go eat with the office crew. And you're like, really? Really? If you just brought your own lunch from home instead of eating out, you could afford Shakeology. You could afford 2 bags of Shakeology. So if you're getting too many no's and no yeses, go back and refocus on keeping it simple. that your sole purpose is help people. And to truly, truly help someone, you have to understand where they are and where they're coming from and why they're struggling and what their daily life is like that has gotten them into this position of needing your help. I guarantee you, if you start asking questions and getting into people's heads and hearts, they'll say yes. Because at the very end, once you have figured out what that 20-pound weight loss represents, by the time you say, okay, I've got an idea of what will work for you, but I'm still new at this, so I want to run this by my coach and see what she thinks. Let me get back to you tomorrow, and we're gonna come up with a plan to get you where you want to be. So when you stand up there at your sister's wedding, it's something you'll never forget because it was full of joy and it was exactly as you wanted it to be. We're gonna make that happen for you, and I'm gonna talk to my coach about the right protocol and plan for you. So I'm gonna get back with you tomorrow. Does that sound good? And they're gonna be like, wow, she cares about me. He gets me. They're not just trying to sell me something. They're even going to go talk to someone else who knows more about my situation and put their heads together and come up with a plan that's just for me. So I can stand there at that wedding and be proud and have a joyful experience. You've got to dig deep. And you'll feel like you're prying sometimes, but people love to talk about themselves. Think about us. I mean, if somebody asks you about your kids or your life, you could go on for hours, right? People are hungry for connection, so don't feel like you're being rude or prying if you start digging in and asking some questions about people and what's going on with them. I guarantee you, if you do that, if you track your business on the business activity tracker, and if you dig deep with people and get their why, you'll start getting some yeses, and you'll get to emeralds, and you'll hit Success Club. And if you focus on the numbers, they'll never come. But if you focus on people and truly helping and serving the people in your life who reach out to you and who you invite, the numbers will be a natural occurrence if you're helping people. And that's the truth. That's why I love this business. Brandy Hood said she has the same issue, feeling discouraged about people saying no and getting the price objection. Shoot, half of you that are in this training group gave a price objection when your coach was talking to you about the challenge pack. And remember what that feels like. Put yourself in their position. How did I feel when Brandy told me that the T25 challenge pack I wanted was $205? How did I feel? Ask yourself. Go back to that moment when I shared a challenge pack and a coach opportunity with you as a way to solve your problem and your issue in your life. How did you feel? How did you make it work financially? Share that with people. I mean, I personally could not afford Shakeology when I wanted it. I signed up as a coach for $39.95 and then had to wait nearly a whole other month to order Shakeology because I couldn't afford it. I really couldn't. But I wanted it, and so I made it happen. And there's always a way. There's always a way. So keep talking to people and keep helping them. Rachel Blaylock brought up inviting people, but everyone wants to do their own thing, like Weight Watchers, Zeal, Purium, walking. It seems like no one is interested in trying something new. I haven't even gotten to the money part yet. Okay, and she says, I anticipate that will be a huge obstacle as well. I'm even getting derailed by others trying to sell the excess Shakeology they have on hand on my page. All of my people in the free cleaning challenge dropped out, and that was free. It seems like people want a quick fix, not a life change. Getting people who are willing to commit to this is a lot harder than I thought. And I'm so proud that y'all are having these discussions out loud and that we can talk about it. So proud. Same thing. Are you inviting? Are you using the products? Are you doing personal development? Even if you're not seeing the fruits of your labor yet, it's the compound effect at work. Rome wasn't built in a day, right? It was brick by brick by brick. Imagine if the ancient Egyptians laid their first outline of the pyramid and they'd step back and they looked at it and they'd be like, well, there's no pyramid here yet. Dang, we missed that. Failure, discouragement, we might as well give up. It's not a pyramid yet. No, they came back the next day and they laid the next layer of bricks. And they followed the plan. And brick by brick by brick, it started to take shape. And now we have these amazing creations of these ancient Egyptians who built these pyramids. It didn't happen in a day. So if you're using your products and you're inviting and you're doing personal development, you will build a pyramid. You will build your pyramid. And it's okay if you get no's. It's okay if people say, I'm going to do Weight Watchers. It's okay because you're getting on the bicycle and you're pedaling and you're finding your balance, and it's okay to wobble. You're learning something new. If your kids are learning to ride their bike for the first time and they get on and you're right there and you're like, okay, you got this. I've got my hands on the seat and I'm going to guide you, and then I'm going to let go, and it's okay. I'm going to be right here. I'm going to run along beside you. You're going to wobble and it's okay. You're going to get there. Just pedal. Just pedal and balance. I'm right here. That's what we're doing right now. And if you're wobbling on the bike, if you're unsteady and you're discouraged, people are telling you no, it's okay. It's part of the process. Pretty soon, you're going to find your balance. You're going to pedal a little faster. You're going to have the right positioning of your body to be able to stop wobbling. You're going to stop crashing on the side of the road and skinning your knee. But you have to go through that process to be able to ride. And it's okay to hear no. It's okay to be uncomfortable. What else? Lots of good questions here. All right, you guys can read through the questions, and I'll answer some more of them on Facebook here in a minute. But I want to spend the next little bit talking to you about the content that I have prepared for you tonight. And I think that you'll find that the content that I'm about to share with you will answer any question that you'll ever have about Beachbody coaching. So tomorrow, we start using the business activity tracker. Have it printed out tonight. Have it downloaded and ready to edit on your computer if you're doing it digitally. Have it prepared. It is going to help you see where you may think you're doing everything, but like me, you're really not. It's a great accountability tool, and it will get you to Emerald. It will get you to Success Club. It will. It's inevitable. It's kind of like when you breathe in, you will get oxygen into your blood. It's inevitable. All right. I want to talk to you tonight about failure and fear. So a lot of your questions and the things that you've been struggling with are because of fear. Fear of rejection, fear of failure, fear of looking stupid, fear of sounding salesy, fear of not being equipped with the right talents and gifts to be able to do this, fear of not being able to be like me, or like Brandy, or like Jennifer, or like Jessica, or like Melissa, fear of not being able to be exactly like your sponsor, fear of just not being enough in and of yourself. Fear that you're lacking some key attribute or personality trait or gift that's essential for doing this business. Fear is often something that we blow, the things we're afraid of, we blow way out of proportion. Way out of proportion. We imagine it as this big, beastly thing that we'll never be able to overcome. And we let that hold us back. We let that stop us in our tracks. I don't know if you read my blog post from this morning, but I've had several really rough days. And I'm a person of faith, and I always seek out, what is God doing in this? What am I supposed to learn? Why am I having this struggle? What is the test here? How is this going to be used for my good and His glory? And I've really been struggling with that voice in my head telling me that I'm not good enough. And you can read my blog post for more on that. But it's a condition of being human. It's not just you. You are not flawed. You are not defective. You are not lacking some essential skill. If you are here in this team and in this training group on this call, it's not on accident. It's not on accident. I believe that God makes us cross paths with people and situations and things that He wants to use to bless us. And He wants to bless us so much that we go out into the world and bless others. That's the way He has set up our relationship with Him and with each other. The whole purpose of our existence in this world is so He can love us and fellowship with us. And so you're not here by accident. You have a purpose. And you may not be exactly like your sponsor coach. You may like Twitter and your coach does Facebook. You may be a blogger and your coach does YouTube videos. Those are just tools and tips and techniques. You all do the 3 vital behaviors. You might do it in your own way, with your own little flair on it. That's just you. And that's great. That's perfect. But let me tell you something key. The quicker you fail, the sooner you will succeed. So don't just sit there spinning your wheels and worrying and feeling discouraged, and you look around and you feel like everybody else in the training group is going Emerald. Only one has. Only one has. Out of 44, just one. That's okay. That's normal. Most people take anywhere from 30 to 90 days to go Emerald, and you're just 10 days into your training. So be gracious with yourself. And know that the quicker you get out there and fail, so those of you that are sharing, I'm talking to people that no one wants to do this, they're doing Zeal, they're doing Weight Watchers, they just want to go out and walk, whatever, right? So you're failing. You haven't gotten a Success Club point yet, you don't have a coach signed up, you're failing, but you're failing trying. You're failing forward, because the more you fail, it means you're actually doing something. And the more you do it, the sooner you're going to succeed. You could be right around the corner from your first challenge pack. You could be right around the corner from your first challenge group, where you actually have more than 2 or 3 people that want to do the same program with you in a group. You could be right around the corner from that. In my experience, it takes about 10 no's to get to a yes. So that's why the business activity tracker helps you follow your numbers each day, so that you know you're inviting 2 to 5 people a day, because it takes that number of invites to get enough yeses to move you forward in your business. It just takes that many. People are lazy. People don't like to change. You know this. It's hard for all of us. So statistics show that only about 10 to 20% of people who you talk to and invite, recruit to your team, get into your challenge groups, only 10 to 20% of them will actually do it and follow through and finish and be successful. So you can see where that comes down to about 1 or 2 out of every 10 that you invite or talk to will say yes. So have it in your head that you're going to get 10 no's before you get a yes, and count those suckers. Celebrate every no, because every time you get a no, you're getting closer and closer and closer to that yes. And I promise you this, I've been doing this for over 3 years, and it's always the same. 10 no's to get a yes. You don't want those people that say no. You don't want them to be in your groups or on your team. You don't want them. So tell them thanks, because they just allowed you to filter them out, and you're going to move on to the next person, because every person that you talk to gets you closer and closer and closer to your yes. So the quicker you fail, the sooner you will succeed. Keep moving and don't stop. Winston Churchill said, if you're going through hell, by all means, keep going. Why? Because if you stop and you give up, guess where you're going to stay? In hell. Nobody wants to be there, right? It's hot. It's evil. Ugh. Keep going. Keep moving. Just because you're discouraged, just because people have told you no so far, just because you don't have a spouse that's on board, or you don't have a best friend, or a mom, or a dad, or a sibling to sign up as your 2 coaches, just because nobody at work wants to drink Shakeology with you, don't stay there. Keep moving. You are here for a reason. You are here for a purpose. you wouldn't have felt the nudge or the call or that weird thing in your head, like, I feel like I'm supposed to do this, and it doesn't really make sense, and I don't know why, but I just feel like I'm supposed to be with these people and try this out. You wouldn't have felt that if you weren't supposed to be exactly where you are. But don't stay stuck. Don't stay in discouragement. Don't stay in, well, all I ever get is price objections. These other coaches, they don't ever get price objections, and everybody around me is going Emerald and making Success Club, and there's something wrong with me. No, don't stay there. Move on. Keep failing. The more you fail, the more you get out there and wobble on that bicycle, the sooner you're going to find your balance and be able to ride. The sooner you will build success. John Maxwell wrote an entire book on this. It's called Failing Forward. Because think about a little baby, okay? They're learning to walk. First they have to pull up. They got to hold on to the furniture, and they're wobbly, and they have no balance, and then they fall, right? How many times have you watched your kid do that? Over and over and over and over. They fall so many times. They get so tired, and they're just like, can I go to bed now? They curl up in your arms, and they're exhausted from the effort. But they don't give up. And day by day by day, you watch them find their balance. And they take a step, and you're like, yeah, first step, yeah, come to mommy, come on, come on, come on. And then you get them to take 2 steps. And then they take 3, and before you know it, they're walking around holding on to your little fingers like this, and they're just walking all over the place. And then you start trying to get them to let go of your fingers, right? You're like, you can do this, it's okay. And they look at you, and they're like, okay, all right. And they try, and then they fall, right? Do you give up on your kid? No. You help them get right back up, and you let them hold your finger again, and they walk, and they walk. They're failing, right? Every time they fall, they have failed to stand. Every time they stumble and fall and bump their big old wobbly head, they fail. But they're failing forward in the right direction of their goal, which is to walk. Just because you fail, it doesn't mean you're not supposed to be here. It doesn't mean that this is not a good fit for you. It doesn't mean that you're always going to fail. It doesn't mean that you are flawed. It means that you are doing the right things because you're trying and you're taking action. And taking action on what you're afraid of dispels the fear. It completely gets rid of the fear. If you do the exact thing that you're scared of, look fear in the face and tell it F off. Sorry, I did just say that. Do the action that you're terrified to do, and it will dispel the fear. Completely get rid of it. It's just like when you're a kid. I keep using all these kid examples tonight, but when you're a kid and you're convinced there's a monster under your bed. Like, you are convinced it's there. You've heard it. You've smelled it. It's there, right? And your mom or dad comes in, and they make you look under the bed. And you're like, I can't look under the bed. It's going to get me. It's going to get you too, Mom. And yet you look anyway. And when you see that there truly is nothing there, you feel silly, right? Oh, okay. But that fear will try to come back to you again, right? So I remember when I was little, I would jump across from my twin bed to my sister's twin bed to avoid putting my feet down on the floor by my bed, because I just knew it was going to grab my ankles and pull me under the bed. It'll creep back up. Fear will creep back up. And you have to keep looking it in the face. You got to lift up that bed skirt and look at it again. Okay, there's still nothing there. And over time, you keep looking that fear in the face, and you do the action that you're scared of anyway, the fear starts to go away, and before you know it, like, that was so dumb that I was scared of that. That is so silly. So do the exact thing that you're afraid of, and don't let fear hold you captive. It's okay to be awkward. It's okay to be off balance. It's okay to fail. Get used to it. Nobody ever did anything great in life and was successful the first time, ever. Think about the video on fear that we watched in the assignment earlier this week, the rocket scientist lady. She was failing math in school. What if she'd given up then on ever being what she wanted to be? Nobody ever did anything huge and was successful at all the little steps along the way. I'm telling you from where I sit that I've been exactly where you are so many times. Earlier this year, I was just stuck in my business. I knew how to get people into a challenge group. I knew how to get them into a challenge pack. I knew how to dig deep and ask the questions to find out their goals and help meet that need with Shakeology or a challenge pack or even the business opportunity. I could do that with people. But when it came to getting my own coaches to build success, I was at a complete loss. And my fear was that I wasn't a good enough coach myself to lead anyone else to be a good coach. Stupid, right? I have all these people in my challenge groups that have, written me cards and letters and messages. You changed my life. I've lost 50 pounds. I'm off diabetes medicine. My doctor is just like, wow, at the ingredients in Shakeology, and he wants to be on it too. I mean, I've had these kinds of experiences with people, and yet I still doubted myself when it came to leadership of the coaches in my team. And the team page that you now see that's full of life and activity was dead. There was nothing going on. I would post things in there and no one would even like my posts. My own coaches, people I recruited, wouldn't even like or comment on my posts. And so I was scared that maybe that was my one thing I was lacking that would keep me from being successful at this. And so instead of staying stuck in hell, I kept moving. I kept failing forward. I started reading leadership books. I started listening to strong Christian mentors that were amazing leaders in these big, huge churches or had done these amazing monumental things where they had a host of followers just, hanging on their every word. And I studied them, and I went to Summit this year, and I went to every training that had anything to do with leadership. And you know what? I didn't come back from Summit and have 7 people go diamond in July. No. But I believed in the little things. And I started being more regular with checking in on my coaches. And I put together a Race to Diamond group. And we have people in there that are really trying to push for diamond and be good leaders of their coaches. And we've done more trainings. And I've been working on myself, being organized and consistent, and reaching out to my coaches more and more and more, and really being honest with new coaches about what it takes to get started right. And, I've had 2 people go diamond, and I've almost got my husband to diamond. More importantly, our team is growing by leaps and bounds with new people, new coaches who are coming in like you guys, wanting something different in their lives, and such quality people, the people of faith, people of integrity, people who love their families and have their priorities straight. The better I get, the better the people that I attract. And, so you can't always measure success in numbers. You've got to look for the little things. People are more engaged in my team page. The numbers of people that get on these webinars and calls each week are going up higher and higher and higher. The number of people we have in our training groups is going up astronomically. So I'm looking at the little things. I haven't advanced in rank yet. I've been a 1-star diamond for almost 2 years. It'll be 2 years in December, so a year and a half. And so looking at my rank, you would be like, well, she's failing. All her leadership efforts, they're not paying off. But I'm looking at the little things. I'm looking at you guys, and I see growth, and I see exciting things. And so all I'm asking you to do is the same thing that I'm doing. Look your fear in the face. Confront it. Keep failing. Keep getting out there and failing and working on continuing to talk to people and wobbling on your bicycle and learning to take those first steps as a new coach. Rome wasn't built in a day. And you won't be an overnight success either. Thank God that's not the business that we've signed up for. You don't want to be a part of a get-rich-quick scheme. You don't want that. You want this to be something you had to work for, something that you earned, something that you got dirty doing, because that's where pride comes in. And you can feel so good about what you're doing because you are going to help people. You lead with your heart, you focus on helping others, and you continue to fail forward, and your numbers will show up. I promise you. I've watched it happen in my life and countless other coaches in our team who have done the little things each day. Keep it simple, silly. 3 vital behaviors, and you will be wildly successful, but it does take time. I love talking to you guys tonight. We are on the 45-minute mark, so I try to keep it at that level. I will be in your team training group answering a couple more of the questions that I didn't get to during this webinar. And I want to encourage you guys to go listen to, if this type of content is something that you need to hear more of, which who doesn't, a lot of the inspiration for what I shared with you tonight and in my blog post from earlier today, and some of the things that are really helping me are at elevationchurch.com. The pastor there is Stephen Furtick. He's the one that wrote Crush the Chatterbox, right here, another book I'm reading. But there's a specific sermon in their series called Move by Clayton King. He was a guest pastor that they had speak. And I highly recommend that you go and listen to that. Some of the things I shared with you tonight came from that sermon. And to close, I actually want to read to you from Crush the Chatterbox by Stephen Furtick. And, all right, so here's his, the way that he battles that constant voice in your own head that tells you you're not good enough, that you're not cut out to be a Beachbody coach, that you are flawed and you should quit, that this isn't right for you. Because I believe everything has purpose, I believe that the Lord has put you here for a reason to learn something. Whether or not you're supposed to be a huge financial success, or you're just supposed to help the 5 people closest to you that need health in their life. Whatever He's calling you to in this, there's something there. There's something to be learned. So here's what he says. I activate my identity when I refuse lies and walk according to specific redemptive truth. Here's what he says. I don't like myself very much in this moment, but I am loved. I don't seem to be gaining much ground in this battle, but I am more than a conqueror. I don't have a lot of confidence in myself right now, but I am strong and courageous. I don't know how to fix this part of my life, but I am healed and whole. I don't know how long I'll continue to struggle with this sin, but I am forgiven and free. How do I know? Because God says I am. So as a lot of you are facing struggles and self-doubt and discouragement, and you are overwhelmed, and I see it in your questions that you're asking, I just want you to rest in the assurance that I've been there too. And for those of you that are enjoying some little successes in your life, you've got a couple of people on board, you've had some good conversations, I want those little successes that some of you are having to encourage those of you who haven't had them yet. Maybe those who, maybe Crystal, who's already reached Emerald, has talked to 5 more people than you have, only 5. Maybe, I think it's Amber Smith that talked about good conversations with her brother and his girlfriend. Maybe those were number 11 and 12 after the 10 no's. Let these little successes that some of our trainees are having encourage those of you who haven't had them yet, because we're all the same. That 10 to 20% rule applies to everybody. And just claim the truths that have been spoken over you tonight, and have faith in what God is doing in your life, both on a personal health and fitness level and in the reason that He has called you to take a look at the details about the business as well and get into this training. I believe in you, or you wouldn't be here. Your sponsor coach believes in you, or you wouldn't be here, because we filter those we invite to our business. If we don't see that it's going to be a good fit, we don't invite people to be a part of our training group or part of our team if we don't think that they're a good fit for who we are. If I was talking to someone who's an atheist and I didn't feel like I could influence or witness them to come to my side, I wouldn't really want them on my team, because I wouldn't want anybody to think that that's a reflection of who I am. So you have been selected by your sponsor coach to be here, and we believe in you. And you are almost to your first success. It's around the corner, and big things are going to happen for you when you just keep going. I will see you in our training tomorrow with your next assignment. And tonight, your secret assignment that you have to do based on this call is to go on to your favorite social media platform and share something personal about your journey so far. Something about your fear, something about discouragement, because somebody else out there feels like you do. And I want you to share your fear or your discouragement or your struggle. And you don't have to be specific. You can just say, I'm really struggling with something. And I want you to have a but. And follow it with a statement of hope and positivity. Because when you speak that way, not only does it add value to other people, but it affirms and confirms that message in your own head as well. So get out there, social media, and tag me. You have to tag me so that I can check it off that you did it. And I'm not going to give you any examples because this has to be all you. Think about what you've heard tonight, what you feel moved to overcome, and get out there and share something about your own discouragement or struggle or fear, and have a big but with something positive to follow. Good night, you guys.